All right, it's Hillary out here at the 91X Coachella Flophouse. It is day one. It's the afternoon, but the sun is still pretty high overhead, and we have the great pleasure of being joined by Declan McKenna and Isabel, his guitar player. Welcome.
Hello, how's it going?
It's going super well, thank you. Last time I saw you, Declan, was
I was a baby.
you were. That's exactly what I was going to say. It was 2 whole years ago, which in your long life, you were, I think, 17.
I would have been 16 or 17.
16 or 17. You
Wild.
came to the 91X studio, and you were actually my very first interview. So I worked at 91X for a long time, and then I left for a bit, and then I came back, and you were my first
Just to
interview,
talk to
and I
me.
got just in time to interview you. Yeah, no, it was super fun. A lot has happened in the 2 years since then.
Yes, it really has.
You won BBC Artist of the Year.
The
Tell me about that.
introducing Artist of the Year, which was pretty cool.
Sounds huge.
Like, it is. It is cool, and like seeing people who've come before and like won that award, like Catfish and the Bottom, and like Jack Garrett, and a couple of really cool, really interesting artists who've gone on to do really big things. So it's really nice having that support, like BBC introducing it kind of like almost in a lot of cases like the first sort of big thing to get involved in like small artists in the UK. So it's really cool to be acknowledged in that way by them. It's great.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you just played 2 really big shows in the UK, right?
Yeah, our biggest ones to date, really.
That's biggest ones at home. Then okay.
Yeah, our biggest ever headline shows, which was
Right on.
it was really awesome. We did Kentish Town Forum, which is like a venue that I used to go to shows at all the time. So it was really
So,
amazing.
does your family come out for that when you're at home and it's a big show like that?
Yeah. Most of my family was there. The ones who were sort of in the country. So that was really cool. A lot of my friends as well. But yeah, it was just such an awesome time. Like the shows were amazing. We had like our own sort of lights show for the first time, which was really, really great. And it's just like, I don't know, felt like a real big step up, especially after doing the sort of 2-month-long toilet tour of America beforehand, which was like pretty intense. It was like,
What does
do you not
mean,
have that
the
term?
toilet
Just
tour?
like the tiny like club venues.
Okay.
It's like a toilet tour. I feel like the term toilet tour came from like you share the toilets with the people who are watching the show.
Ah, that
but
makes
it's like,
sense.
I don't actually know. You always call it toilet tour.
However, your last show in San Diego was
big.
awesome.
It was great.
Yeah, huge crowd at the Music Box.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sold out.
Yeah, sold out. It was cool, like, because San Diego was actually the first city in America we ever did like a proper headline show, and it was like the first time we were like, wow, there's like tons of kids here who like really know this, at least the ones that we had out at the time, they knew the songs, and it was just like, that was like the first one. So to come back and do what was pretty much it was the biggest show of that tour we did in America just last month, and it was also, it was a stressful show. But it was
Why?
great.
I heard you say that when you walked in earlier.
We just had a lot of problems, like hearing stuff on stage. Like we couldn't really hear everything we needed to hear, and it's a little difficult. But I think we kind of played it off. We just played a slightly more rock and roll show than we normally would, which is never a bad thing. So
Nice.
we all kind of came out of that the right way, I think.
So it's like a learning experience, or it can be when you get challenged like that. I would imagine, like, okay, you're on stage in the moment, you have all these people watching, you have to rise to the occasion, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
ideally,
especially on a toilet tour, as we've discussed, doing
at
sort
the
of
Music Box, you do
sort of
have
venues.
your own
No,
toilets.
music. Oh man, the Music Box is the Music Box is a very lovely venue. It was very proper. But on a big sort of tour like that, where all the venues are super different, it's not consistent. It's not, you can't expect to. We don't have the same crew that we have in the UK. We don't have the same. We don't just have as much stuff that is consistent every night.
Sure.
So it's just a little harder. Everyone has to work a little harder, and sometimes things go wrong. But that's just part of the fun of it.
Yeah. Is this your first Coachella?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
We were supposed to do it last year, but
I was going to ask about that. I remember that. Yeah, that was a bummer, but we're so glad you're here.
Yeah, I was so glad to be back. I mean, to be here for the first time, because it's just like, I don't know, it's crazy exciting. We did not expect to be playing Coachella anytime soon. So.
Oh, good. It's going to be so good. You, however, in your 19 years, have played a lot of festivals. Like you have played all over the place. Is there any festival you haven't played yet that you still really want to play? Or
there's quite a few of the big American ones that we haven't actually hit yet. So like ones like Bonnaroo and stuff like that. We haven't done any of like the Governor's Ball or anything like that.
Oh,
so
sure.
there's quite a lot of ones out here we haven't done yet. You know, we haven't done like any of the Primaveras or stuff like that. So there's definitely room for like when we're touring after this run to kind of go out and explore a little more, which is exciting.
Yeah.
We're doing a couple we haven't done before in Europe in the summer, which is really exciting. But yeah, obviously Coachella we haven't played before, so that's like
it's kind of like the granddaddy.
Still, yeah.
Maybe and Lollapalooza, but yeah, it's a big
that and Lolla, and obviously Glastonbury we've done a few times.
Sure.
Which is so awesome.
I bet. Because you've done so many festivals, do you have like a routine or like a game plan? Like, okay, we get there, here's what I like to do.
I feel like everything goes out the window when you play festivals. Like any kind of plan, I don't know. Yeah, you kind of just have to go with it and go with what happens on the day, because it's like you might be promised things that don't quite happen, or something might not work, and you just don't have the same time that you can dedicate to like one of your own headline shows. So it's,
sure,
you know, it depends. But I like to do as much exploring as possible at festivals, especially one like today where I haven't been before. So hopefully, you know, once I get a bit of free time later, I'll be able to go and explore and see some bands and yeah.
Totally. We're here with Declan McKenna. I want to talk to you about this album that's been out for a little while now.
Yeah,
almost a year, right? Because it was June, July.
July last year.
It's called "What Do You Think About the Car," and you recorded it with James Ford, who's worked with some incredible Depeche Mode and Arctic Monkeys and Florence and the Machine. And so how did you connect with him? And is that someone you were like, I want to work with him, let's make it happen?
It kind of happened very quickly. I mean, I think we kind of sent some. I wasn't really even thinking like who's gonna make my album when I first started working with him. It was just like, do you want to do this next single with James Ford? Sent him a couple of demos and he was like into them, and just did the one single, Bethlehem, and it was it just kind of that worked. I really liked it. Really liked the process. It was a bit annoying just doing the one song and like spending so much time setting up and stuff. So I wanted to, you know, spend a little more time in the studio, do a couple more bits, and after that it was just no question. It was like, when am I next going back in with James? And it was really good fun to work with, really supportive, really helped bring out the best in a lot of the songs we worked on. And obviously working with someone like that, he's done a lot of, you know, my favorite records. Like he's done all the Arctic Monkeys records and just stuff like that. It was really cool, and he's just a great guy, great person to work with, and really creative, really fun. You know, it wasn't a dull recording process for sure.
That seems like how it should be, like how you want it
100%. It was great.
You know, you have grown up in the age of streaming, right? Mm-hmm. Where, you know, now every song, for the most part, most songs are available as singles. You release a lot of singles. You released plenty of singles leading up to this album. So as someone who is of this generation where streaming is like what it's all about, yes. You know, how important to you, is an album? I know you just made one a year ago, released one, but how important was that to you to do that as opposed to your label or management or whatever? And then also, how important is it to you that fans consume your music as like in an album as a whole versus one song here or there?
Yeah, I mean, I love records. I think, you know, there's pros and cons for the whole streaming thing. It's you know, it's, I don't know. There's a lot of different things I like and things I don't like. Obviously, I've grown up like so used to just streaming music. But I think there's something that, I don't know, has flipped, where I guess people always want more because they can just click on it and just that's the record, that's it. You don't have to do anything else. Although I do like that you can, you know, consume no matter how much you have to pay for it. Like, you don't have to pay. and that's a great thing for a lot of people. But I don't know. I love records. I've always loved records, and I was really excited to make one and put one out properly for the first time when I was just making sort of demos at home myself. Like I made about 2 different albums worth of just like home recordings, and just 'cause that's what I love. I love like immersing yourself in a record and finding one that really suits you, or one that you really relate to, or one that sounds like something you've never heard before. And I think albums can do a lot that just the odd song can't, I think. And it's just a lot more immersive. Even though a song on its own can be awesome, can be great, I think the immersiveness of a record is something that's really drawn me to continue with music throughout, I don't know, the time of me creating music and consuming and listening to it. So I'm a big lover of records, and I want to go on and work on more conceptual things and more work as a whole album, because the process of the last one was very like, I don't know, it was in between the touring and getting sort of my stuff out there and like sort of working with tons of different people for the first time. So it wasn't quite working on a grand conceptual piece, even though I see it as a whole album. But I'm excited to just do more of that and work more towards, well, how do I make this immersive thing, and how do I make it like a record that, if I was listening to, I would love. So that's what I want to do.
And it sounds like maybe, carve out a little more time for yourself to really
100%.
go all in.
No one ever gets the time they want on the first record, I don't think. Even though I love the songs that are on it, no one ever gets the time they want on a first record, especially when you're going through the sort of music industry and all that stuff. So I'm just excited to do more, because I love that whole process, and I'm just excited to write. I love creating. That's kind of why I do music, and it's great.
I'm excited to hear more. And so with that, let's hear some music right now.
Right,
Declan
cool.
McKenna, this is Isabel. We are live from Coachella with 91X.
Cool. This one's humongous. Don't take me along to your show, to your broadcast. I know I'm good at letting go. And then tag me along with your rules, with your promise. I swear you spend too much time on your phone and on your hair. Do you care? I'm big, humongous, enormous, and small. It's not fair that I am nothing and nobody's there. Do you care? I'm big, humongous, enormous, and small, and it's not fair. I am nothing and nobody's there. Do you care? Don't tell me I'm not smart, I'm not worthy, 'cause I know I couldn't let it go. And then tag me along with your hate and with your envy. I swear to God I cannot take you anywhere. Oh, do you care? I'm big, humongous, enormous, and small, and it's not fair that I am nothing and nobody's. Yeah, do you care? big, humongous, enormous, and small. It's not fair. I am nothing and nobody's there. Do you care? Thanks. And then this one is Brazil. I heard you sold the Amazon to show the country that you're from is where the world should want to be for find something all people need. I'm faithless now, though we win every time, and I don't know how, 'cause I haven't bought you and I haven't sold me, but the people are dying to get on TV. I heard he lives down a river somewhere with 6 cars and a grizzly bear. He's got eyes, but he can't see. Well, he talks like an angel, but he looks like me. Oh Lord, what if I be a go? I'm the face of God, I'm my father's son, I'm not. What you think you see? I know you're gonna leather, but because of me. Why would you lie? Why would you lie about how you feel? I've got a mission, and my mission is real. Because you had your chances, you had enough. I'm going to burn your house down to spread peace and love, and it gets me down. Oh Lord, how it gets me down. I heard he lives down a river somewhere with 6 cars and a grizzly bear. He's got eyes, but he can't see. Well, he talks like an angel, but he looks like me. Oh Lord, oh Lord. I wanna play the beautiful game out in Brazil, 'cause everybody plays the beautiful game out in Brazil. And it's all you ever wanted, it's all that you want still. Don't you wanna play the beautiful game